What's up, everybody? Christian Ballard Sports Media, coming at you with a video today, however you want to look at it. It's 11 o'clock here, but I felt like, I wanted to make a video and I didn't know what to make a video about. I'm not quite ready to do bowl previews yet. We'll try to get that later on in the week and everything. But I felt like I had to make this one. FSU was straight up robbed of a playoff spot. Now I understand the fourth spot went to the Alabama Crimson Tide. I get that. I'm an Alabama fan, and I would love nothing more than to see them win the national title. But I'm also working to be a sports journalist, right? So set the fandom aside. I agree with my grandmother who was talking about it the other day. She was furious and talking about how she's not going to watch the games and stuff. I don't blame her. Florida State ends up in the Orange Bowl with Georgia. What would happen if, and I don't know if it's going to happen. It probably won't because Jordan Travis is injured and they're down to their third or fourth string quarterback. What if Florida State upsets Georgia? Georgia clearly favored in this game, we assume. You're talking about a team that went 13-0, won every conference game they played. They beat 3 ranked teams this year. 3. Now, Alabama beat a couple more. I think they had them beat by 1 game. I think Alabama had 4 ranked wins. But I can't help but think that the playoff committee, with so much hesitation on Sunday, are they SEC biased? I hope not. I'm an SEC guy. I am. I love Paul Feinbaum. I love all the SEC teams. I love the SEC on CBS theme song. I'm an SEC guy. But you gotta call BS like it is sometimes. Just call it what it is. There's bias. There's a little bit of bias. Florida State probably did deserve that 4th spot, regardless of what you want to say about their resume. Regardless of that. I'm looking at their schedule. They beat what was at the time number 5 LSU. They beat number 16 Duke. And in the ACC title, they beat number 14 Louisville. They blew out. They had some close calls. Don't get it wrong. But they overcame. Had a close call with Clemson. Had a close call at Boston College. Had a close call with Florida and Miami. And you had all these teams. They had some close calls. I'm going to watch the playoff games. I'm going to sit there and cheer on Alabama in the Rose Bowl against Michigan. If they make the national title, I will cheer them on against whoever they play. But this year, I gotta call it like it is. Florida State deserved the playoff spot. They really did. You had Michigan. You had Washington. You had Alabama get in. And you had Texas. Do I think Texas deserved a spot? Big 12 champs beat Alabama? Yeah. So Texas, I get. Washington, absolutely. Michigan, well, they've had a bumpy road with the sign stealing. I mean, thought for sure, at least some people thought, that the committee would hold it over their heads. They didn't. They straight up gave Michigan that playoff spot as the number one seed. I don't think there's anything necessarily against Florida State. I honestly, I don't know, but they're stuck playing Georgia in the Orange Bowl, and that game could go either way. We'll get game previews later on. We'll look at it. But I would agree that Florida State should have been in there. But they couldn't help but put the SEC in. I love the SEC. I love Alabama. I'm also, again, working as a sports journalist. You got to be fair. It's not all about me. This is about a playoff committee with a broken system, I think. Hashtag the system's broken. I don't know. But there is just... it's kind of eating at me. I feel bad. And apparently, by the way, they take injuries into account. That's like saying you don't have enough faith in the next man up. Jordan Travis gets hurt. He's out for the year. Tate Rodmaker comes in for Florida State. You don't have enough faith in this kid, so we're going to penalize the team? Because someone else has to step up at a quarterback position? I think it's ridiculous. Now, like I said, I'm going to watch the playoff. Going to cheer on Alabama as a fan. And I'm not saying Alabama doesn't deserve it. But Florida State, you just undefeated Power 5 conference champ has got to get in over a one-loss champion, right? I mean, that's fair. You won your conference. You beat everybody you played. You deserve a spot in the playoffs. 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. You should be in there. Should be in there. We got Michigan. We got Washington. We got Texas. And we got Alabama. Texas, what did they do? Talked about it on the call-in show a little bit last night. Did they have some close calls? Yeah, they beat Alabama. Who cares? They lost to an Oklahoma team. Now, Oklahoma went 10-2, but come on. Oklahoma didn't even make the conference. It was Oklahoma State who went 9-4. 9-3 in the regular season. Texas almost lost to TCU, who's below 500. Almost lost to Houston, who is 4-8. Florida State had a better resume. Forget Alabama for a second. SEC champ, put them in. I know Alabama's at that 4th spot. But who's to say Texas deserved that play? Like, because of that Alabama win. Really? I think Florida State over Texas would have been the better option. That's my opinion. Got to hear from you guys in the comments. I thought Florida State got robbed. I feel bad for them. Hopefully it's not the end of it all for Mike Norvell. Hopefully that this program's on an upward direction. They'll make it again someday. They made it in the first year. Haven't been back. Willie Taggart happened. Mike Norvell's a great coach. Recruiting greatly right now, especially in the state of Florida, which is a great state to recruit in. But just not the year for Florida State. And I'm an Alabama fan. I understand. Like, Alabama got that spot. I'm happy for them. I'm excited. But again, put the fandom aside. be a sportscaster for a minute, sportscaster moment, and just say the truth. Florida State got robbed of a playoff spot and is going to have to sit at home and play the Georgia Bulldogs. Nothing wrong with them playing Georgia, but they have been fighting this year for a national title. They've been in the hunt for one. They've been competing for one. I know all teams have, everyone dreams of it, right? Florida State is a legit contender. They got screwed big time. I promise. I love you guys. God bless. Florida State, keep your head up. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. We'll find out. I love y'all. Peace.